In 2023, the Lady Longhorns of Texas won the outdoor NCAA track championship by beating the University of Arkansas 83-51. It was not even close. They had event victories in the sprints and the jumps, and even scored points beyond that. But they did all of this while competing on their home track in Austin, Texas. It's actually their first championship since 2005, when Sonia Richards-Ross was still running on the team. But I'm sure you still don't get it yet, because Texas just might go down as the greatest track and field team of all time in the NCAA. And their performance at the outdoor national meet proves it, and this is why. Before I go any further, I need to make this clear. Texas didn't just win the national meet, they dominated it. Their 30-point margin of victory is only half the story, because no team at the NCAA meet has ever scored as many as 83 points since the year 1994. And that was when LSU did it, and the Lady Longhorns were the runner-up in that year. But I'm just getting started, because they entered the outdoor national meet ranked number 1 in their Division I region, the South Central region. And that actually matters, because regional rankings are scored way differently than the national ones. To put it in perspective, the Florida Gators on the men's side finished 6th in their conference, 2nd in their region, and 1st at the outdoor national meet. But Texas, for the women, was number 1 all across the board. They actually dominated the indoor season and were ranked number 1 for most of it. But they got upset at the indoor NCAAs. By Arkansas, of course, because who else would it be? And that was only by 4 points. And I didn't even mention that entering the outdoor national meet, Texas had the number 1 4x4 in the entire nation. They technically got DQ'd, so they didn't score at the NCAAs. But all they had to do was be some version of that same team, and they could have added 10 more points onto their total. That mistake cost them 10 points. 10 points that would have tied them, for the record, for the most points at an NCAA championship, at least in the modern scoring system. And even if you're still not convinced, I'll break it down a whole nother way. Imagine if the Lady Longhorns crowned themselves a sovereign nation. That would allow them into the World Championships, competing for themselves. And they would perform better than almost any nation would ever hope to. Led by Julian Alfred in the 100, she likely would have gotten 4th in the entire world in 2022 with her performances from the college season. But she also runs the 200-meter dash, and in that event, she likely would have finished 3rd. And in the 400, Rashida Adeleke likely could have gotten 2nd overall in the entire world in that event. I'm not making this up, because 2 more of their sprinters likely would have threatened to at least qualify for the final of the 200-meter dash. So needless to say, their relays would have been legit. The performances they put out in the 4x1 and the 4x4 in the college season would likely have put them 3rd in the world in the 4x1 and 4th overall in the 4x4. If you throw in Akeelia Smith, finishing between 4th and 6th in the long and the triple jump, you should see just how great these ladies actually are. Because remember, they're a college team. Track and field is a sport where we often don't consider the whole team, but it's about time we give the Lady Longhorns all of the credit they deserve. They aren't just this year's champion. Their victory this year is arguably an underachievement, because they should have had 10 more points and tied the overall record. I hear everything's bigger in Texas, and that it might as well be its own country anyway. Well, I for one would like to second that, because the Lady Longhorns have already conquered the NCAA, and it doesn't appear that they should need any help taking on the best in the entire world, all by themselves.